one astronaut seeing something could be explained as an hallucination. Two strange sightings merits further investigation.
What if under the surface of the moon there are ancient structures built by aliens? Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, new evidence might suggest that fiction isn't too far from reality.
A rocket crash on the moon has left scientists baffled. It was first reported in the month of March.
Scientists have discovered deep caves, strange figures, and mysterious lights on the moon, and no one can explain them. Could these be signs of an ancient alien civilization? Let's break down the evidence and find out if the moon is hiding more than we ever thought possible. Number 1. Deep caves and pits. The moon's mysteries aren't just on its surface. They go deep underground too. Scientists have recently confirmed the discovery of a hidden cave not far from the historic Apollo 11 landing site, located in the Sea of Tranquility. This cave is thought to be one of many that could offer future astronauts a safe place to explore and possibly live. But what if these caves hold secrets even more incredible than we can imagine? Many of these deep pits are found in the moon's ancient lava plains. Scientists believe they are entrances to underground lava tubes formed billions of years ago by volcanic activity. Like and subscribe right now and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. Some of these caves are believed to be near the moon's south pole, the planned destination for NASA's upcoming missions. These caves could be perfect for future moon bases because they offer stable temperatures and protection from things like dangerous cosmic rays, solar radiation, and micrometeorites. But here's the interesting part. What if these caves were once used by aliens? Imagine if the moon's underground networks were home to extraterrestrial civilizations long before humans ever set foot on the moon. If that's true, what kind of evidence could still be hidden deep inside these caves? Researchers are excited to explore these caves, not just for their potential to support future human missions, but also to unlock secrets about the moon's past volcanic activity. These caves might hold clues to understanding how the moon formed and whether it could have supported alien life. Number 2. Mysterious rocket crash. Now let's talk about a strange event that has left even NASA scientists puzzled. A mysterious rocket crash on the moon. Late last year, astronomers spotted a rocket heading straight for the lunar surface. The crash happened on March 4th, but what followed was completely unexpected. When NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter took pictures of the crash site, it revealed something unusual, a double crater. This was odd because usually, when rockets crash, they leave a single crater. Most rockets have a heavy motor at one end and a light, empty fuel tank at the other. But this crash left behind two craters, one about 18 meters wide and the other 16 meters wide. The two craters overlapped, creating a double crater that was over 90 feet across. This kind of impact is something scientists haven't seen before. So, what could have caused this strange crash? NASA hasn't given a clear answer yet, leaving everyone guessing. Some think it might have been a malfunctioning spacecraft, while others suggest that an unknown mass could have been attached to the rocket, causing the unusual double impact. What makes this even more interesting is that NASA has documented at least 47 rocket crashes on the moon, but none of them have created a double crater like this. Could there be more to this crash than we understand? Are there forces at play on the moon that we still don't fully know about? Each mysterious event like this only deepens the questions we have about our closest neighbor in space. Number 3. Mysterious figure spotted. The moon has always been seen as a quiet, empty place. But what if it isn't? Lately, odd sightings and strange noises have got people wondering if we're not alone. In one jaw-dropping video, an alien-like figure was caught on the moon. And it wasn't just sitting there, it was casting a shadow. Imagine that, a shadow, right on the lunar surface. Could this be a sign of something we don't yet understand? Thousands of photos of the moon are regularly examined by scientists and curious folks alike, all looking for signs that aliens might have been there. The odds of finding hard evidence might seem small, but the importance of such a discovery is huge. That's why both computers and everyday people are searching these images closely. Who knows? Maybe aliens left behind clues, some strange devices, or even piles of junk that could tell us more about their visit. Some experts believe that if aliens were ever on the moon, they might have built a hidden base deep inside the moon's underground lava tubes. These tubes are like giant tunnels under the moon's surface, mostly in darker areas. And if that's not wild enough, NASA released a recording from 1969 where astronauts said they heard strange music while on the far side of the moon, far away from Earth's radio signals. So, what are we dealing with? Are these strange noises and sightings clues of alien life? It's a question that keeps getting more mysterious the closer we look. Number 4. Strange moon footage. For hundreds of years, people have seen strange lights on the moon, odd flashes that don't seem to have a clear explanation. Some think they're caused by meteors, moonquakes, or even UFOs, but no one knows for sure. These sightings go way back to 1787, when astronomer William Herschel reported seeing 3 glowing red spots on the moon. He thought they might be erupting volcanoes, but to this day, no one knows what they were. Fast forward to today, and now we have modern technology focused on these mysterious lights. A new lunar telescope, located just north of Seville, Spain, is set up to watch the moon every night, capturing these strange flashes on camera. With 2 powerful cameras, this telescope is constantly looking for any signs of unusual activity. Led by Professor Hakan Kayal, a team of researchers is carefully studying both photos and videos of these unexplained lights. This research comes at a crucial time. NASA, SpaceX, and other private companies are getting ready for more missions to the moon, so understanding these strange flashes is becoming more important. Are these lights just a natural phenomenon, or could they be a sign of something more mysterious, even extraterrestrial? Number 5. The mysterious surfboard. NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO, recently snapped a picture that's got everyone talking. A strange object that looks just like a surfboard floating around the moon. The unusual image was taken when the LRO passed by another spacecraft, the Danuri Lunar Orbiter. The picture shows a long, thin line stretched out across the frame, which some say looks like something straight out of a comic book, drawing comparisons to the Silver Surfer from Marvel. NASA has a clear explanation for this weird photo. It all comes down to speed. The LRO and Danuri were both orbiting the moon at breakneck speeds of over 7,200 miles per hour, but in opposite directions. This extreme speed caused the image to appear stretched out, making the Danuri orbiter look like a long, smeared shape in the sky. NASA assures us that this isn't a surfboard, it's just a distorted image caused by the high velocity of the 2 spacecraft. Even though the exposure time was incredibly short, just 0.338 milliseconds, the LRO still managed to capture a few images of Danuri, which is South Korea's first spacecraft to orbit the moon. Launched by the Korea Aerospace Research Institute, Danuri has been orbiting the moon since December 2022, collecting valuable data. Was this just a photographic glitch, or could there be other unexplained objects orbiting the moon that we don't know about yet? The idea of unknown objects floating in space keeps us wondering what else is out there, just beyond our sight. Number 6. Evidence of water. Water on the moon, once considered impossible, is now a fact. Chinese scientists recently made an amazing discovery: water molecules inside lunar soil. This finding is making scientists rethink everything they thought they knew about the moon's dry, empty surface. Years ago, when Apollo astronauts brought back samples from the moon, they showed no signs of water. Because of this, scientists believed the moon was completely dry, and NASA supported this idea, saying that the moon's surface had no water. But now, thanks to modern technology, things have changed. China's Chang'e 5 mission, which landed on the moon in December 2020, collected some of the youngest lunar samples ever. These samples were taken from the lunar surface at a place called the Oceanus Procellarum, also known as the Sea of Storms. After bringing them back to Earth, Chinese scientists carefully analyzed the soil and, to their surprise, found water molecules hiding within it. This isn't the first time there's been a hint of water on the moon. Back in 2009, India's Chandrayaan-1 spacecraft detected signs of hydrated minerals, which suggested that water could be found even in areas exposed to sunlight. Then, in 2020, NASA's Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, known as SOFIA, made an incredible announcement. Water was found on the moon's sunlit surface. These discoveries could change the future of moon exploration. Water on the moon could be crucial for long-term missions and might even help support future moon colonies. This breakthrough could be the key to making life beyond Earth possible. Number 7. Cube-shaped mystery hut. Picture this: a strange, cube-shaped object sitting on the moon's surface, looking too perfect to just be a random rock. That's exactly what China's Yutu-2 rover discovered as it rolled across the von Karman crater on the far side of the moon. The blurry image quickly grabbed attention, with people speculating if it could be some kind of structure left behind by aliens. Some even compared it to the famous monolith from 2001, A Space Odyssey. The discovery got the Yutu-2 rover's team excited. The plan was for the rover to spend the next 2 to 3 lunar days, around 2 to 3 months, here on Earth, slowly making its way through the rocky lunar soil. The rover would have to carefully avoid craters and tricky terrain as it moved closer to get a better look at the mysterious cube. But as shared in an update by Our Space, a science channel linked to the China National Space Administration, the hopes of finding an alien structure were soon crushed. When Yutu-2 finally got close enough for a clear view, it turned out that the mystery hut was just a weirdly shaped rock. No monolith, no secret base hiding on the edge of the crater, just a mix of light and shadow playing tricks on our eyes. Even though the reveal was a bit disappointing, the excitement around the discovery showed how fascinated we are with the unknown. The moon is still full of mysteries, and this cube-shaped object, even though explained, reminds us of how much there is still to uncover about our closest cosmic neighbor. Number 8. UFOs flying across the moon. Could UFOs be flying past the moon? Many people think so. The internet is full of videos that claim to show strange objects zooming across the lunar surface. And it's not just wild theories. NASA itself has captured images of mysterious objects flying over the moon at incredible speeds. One of these sightings happened when NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO, was flying over the moon, snapping photos. It caught a glimpse of something that looked like a spacecraft. But it wasn't just any spacecraft. It was Danuri, a Korean orbiter moving at thousands of kilometers per hour. The LRO's pictures showed a blurry line streaking across the moon's surface, which got people talking. NASA said it was because of the fast movement between the two spacecraft, but it still sparked a lot of speculation. These days, UFO sightings aren't just brushed off as nonsense. Interest in the topic has grown a lot, especially in the US, where both politicians and the public are asking questions. Special groups have been set up to find out what the government knows about these unidentified flying objects, not just here on Earth, but also in space. Even the United Nations has shown interest. Back in 1978, the General Assembly asked its members to work together on research into UFOs and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. So, are these flying objects proof that we're being visited by aliens? Or is there a scientific reason for these sightings that we just don't understand yet? Number 9. Hammer experiment on the moon. One of the most memorable moments from the Apollo 15 mission was a simple yet powerful experiment. Astronaut David Scott dropped a feather and a hammer at the same time. And to everyone's surprise, they both hit the moon's surface at once. This experiment was a real-life test of Galileo's idea from the 16th century, which says that in a vacuum, like the moon, objects of different weights fall at the same speed. Scott's experiment not only confirmed this basic law of physics, but also highlighted the unique environment of the moon, where there's no air to slow things down. It was a visual connection between centuries of science, from Galileo's experiments in Italy to the groundbreaking achievements of astronauts on the moon. But that wasn't the only special event during Apollo 15. Scott also placed a small aluminum sculpture on the moon called the Fallen Astronaut, made by Belgian artist Paul van Hooijdonk. This little figure was a tribute to all the astronauts and cosmonauts who lost their lives exploring space. For Scott, it was a deeply personal gesture, while Van Hooijdonk saw it as a message for all of humanity. The sight of the hammer and feather falling together, along with the symbolic fallen astronaut statue, reminds us of the incredible achievements in space exploration. Number 10. South Pole Aitken Basin Anomaly. Deep beneath the moon's south pole lies one of its biggest mysteries, a strange mass hidden under the South Pole Aitken Basin, the largest known impact crater in the solar system. Stretching about 2,000 kilometers, this giant crater has something unusual lurking beneath it, a massive and dense object that's pulling the basin floor down by more than half a mile. Scientists have a few ideas about what this could be. One theory suggests it might be a chunk of heavy metal left over from an enormous asteroid that slammed into the moon long ago. Some computer models show that when a big asteroid hits, its iron-nickel core might spread out and sink into the moon's upper layers. But no one knows for sure what this mysterious mass is. Could it be an ancient piece of a meteor? Or something far more mysterious? The presence of this heavy mass raises a lot of questions. If it's not from a natural impact, it could point to something even stranger, possibly technology or material left behind by extraterrestrial visitors. Whatever it is, this hidden mass has sparked curiosity and fueled ongoing research into the moon's secrets. Number 11. Astronauts falling on the moon's surface. Walking on the moon sounds like an amazing adventure, but it was no easy task for the Apollo astronauts. With low gravity and bulky spacesuits, moving around became a real challenge, leading to some funny and awkward moments. The astronauts weren't just tripping. Videos show them hopping, bouncing, and sometimes even floating a little before crashing back down to the surface. NASA engineers had a tough job making sure the spacesuits worked perfectly during the whole mission, from launch to landing and back to Earth. But on the moon, those heavy suits, combined with the moon's low gravity, made simple movements like walking a lot harder. The astronauts had to come up with new ways to get around, often resorting to hopping, shuffling, and bounding like they were on a trampoline. Despite the challenges, the excitement of exploring a new world was clear. You can see in the videos how the astronauts' playful movements capture the joy of being on the moon, even if it means taking a tumble now and then. Their falls turned into valuable lessons about how to move in this strange new environment. Number 12. Ring-structured pan. Saturn's tiny moon pan looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Captured by NASA's Cassini spacecraft, Pan is just 30 kilometers wide and has a unique walnut-like shape that's unlike anything else in the solar system. It sits in the Encke Gap, a 200-mile-wide space within Saturn's rings, and its odd shape is due to particles it has swept up from the rings over millions of years. This buildup of dust and ice created the distinctive ridge around Pan's middle, giving it its flying saucer appearance. But Pan isn't just cool to look at, it's also important for Saturn's rings. Known as a shepherd moon, Pan keeps the rings in order by pulling and pushing on nearby particles, helping to keep them in their orbits. This delicate tug-of-war keeps the Enki gap clear and the rings in shape, making sure they don't fall apart or get out of control. Covered in craters and crevasses, Pan's surface tells the story of a tiny moon that has survived countless impacts and changes. Its role as a protector of Saturn's rings and its strange, otherworldly appearance make Pan one of the most intriguing moons we've ever discovered. Number 13. Cryptic Mimas. Mimas, one of Saturn's small moons, has always looked like a real-life version of the Death Star from Star Wars. With its huge 80-mile-wide crater, it's easy to see why. But Mimas has seemed like just a cold, icy rock until now. New data from NASA's Cassini spacecraft is changing that view. Small changes in Mimas's orbit hint at something more interesting hiding beneath its icy surface. Scientists now think there might be a hidden ocean 20-30 kilometers below its crust, covered entirely by ice. Unlike other moons with known subsurface oceans like Europa or Enceladus, Mimas doesn't have any obvious signs like cracks or geysers. The idea of an ocean under Mimas ice is surprising. Mimas has always been seen as an inactive, frozen moon, but this discovery might change that. If there's an ocean beneath its icy shell, what else could be hidden down there? Mimas might have more secrets than we ever thought. Number 14. Strange mountains found on Pluto. When NASA's New Horizons spacecraft flew by Pluto in 2015, it showed us a world we didn't expect. Pluto isn't just a cold, distant dwarf planet. It has a varied and complex landscape with towering ice mountains that rival Earth's Rocky Mountains. Some of these ice mountains reach as high as 3,500 meters. Pluto's surface is covered in different ices, including frozen methane, nitrogen, and water ice. However, scientists are still unsure about the exact makeup of this surface frost. Is it pure frozen methane or a mix with nitrogen? This mystery makes it hard to understand how Pluto's icy surface formed. The huge ice mountains suggest that Pluto's surface frost is very thin, and these giant structures are sitting on stronger ice beneath. This discovery adds another layer to Pluto's already complex geology. What other surprises might be hiding under Pluto's icy surface? One thing is clear: Pluto is far more dynamic and mysterious than we thought. Number 15. Io's volcanic eruptions. Io, one of Jupiter's moons, is known as the most volcanic body in our solar system. Its surface is covered with massive volcanoes that keep erupting year after year. In the fall of 2022, one of the biggest eruptions happened, with lava seas larger than cities and volcanic plumes shooting into the sky like fiery umbrellas. It's a truly dramatic sight. Io's intense volcanic activity is caused by the strong gravitational forces of Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. This gravity, combined with the pull from two other Jovian moons, causes Io to stretch and squeeze, leading to violent volcanic explosions. These forces reshape Io's surface and also create the Io plasma torus, a ring of ionized sulfur around Jupiter. During the 2022 eruption, this plasma ring became much brighter, showing just how active Io's environment is. Io's powerful volcanoes remind us that even though it's just one of Jupiter's moons, it plays an important role in the dynamic system of our solar system's giant gas planet. Number 16. Bizarre Earth's Van Allen Belts. The discovery of Earth's Van Allen Belts in 1958 was a breakthrough in space exploration. These donut-shaped regions of high-energy particles are trapped high up by Earth's magnetic field, creating two distinct belts. Named after physicist James A. Van Allen, these belts were first found during the U.S. Explorer satellite mission, and they've intrigued scientists ever since. The outer Van Allen belt is particularly interesting. It's made up of charged particles from Earth's atmosphere and the solar wind, mostly helium ions. Although these particles are less energetic than those in the inner belt, there are so many of them that it's quite impressive. The belts play a crucial role in shielding Earth from harmful solar radiation, but they also pose radiation risks for satellites and space missions. During intense solar events like coronal mass ejections, the outer belt can shrink, briefly creating a third zone of charged particles. The Van Allen belts aren't fixed in place. They can expand, contract, and even disappear during strong solar wind events. This ever-changing behavior keeps scientists curious and busy, as it shows how dynamic space weather can be. The temporary third zone during solar storms adds to the mystery, making these belts even more fascinating. The Van Allen belts are one of Earth's most unique shields, protecting us from the harsh conditions of outer space. Number 17. Hexagonal-shaped storm in Saturn. Saturn has one of the most amazing features in our solar system: a huge hexagonal storm that wraps around the planet's north pole. This giant storm, with sides longer than Earth, is unlike anything else we've seen in the universe. It's about 180 miles deep and big enough to fit several Earths. The storm's nearly perfect hexagonal shape is especially intriguing because it defies the usual chaotic patterns of planetary storms. This storm is like a giant jet stream, with gases in Saturn's atmosphere swirling in a strange, steady pattern. Even though it looks like a towering structure, the hexagon is much higher up than Saturn's main cloud layers, giving it a dramatic, three-dimensional appearance. The eye of this storm is 50 times bigger than the average storm on Earth, making it an immense natural force. Scientists are still trying to understand why the storm has such an unusual shape. Theories suggest that the unique conditions of speed, air density, and viscosity at Saturn's North Pole might create the hexagon. Despite years of research, this hexagonal storm continues to puzzle experts. It's a reminder that the universe often surprises us with phenomena that are hard to explain. Number 18. The Hoag's Object. Hoag's Object is one of the most unusual galaxies ever found. In 1950, astronomer Art Hoag discovered this nearly perfect ring of bright blue stars surrounding a yellow center. At first, it looked like a planetary nebula, a glowing shell of gas from a dying star. But closer examination revealed something far more strange: a galaxy with an incredibly rare shape. What makes Hoag's Object so mysterious is not just its appearance, but also the fact that no one understands how such a galaxy came to be. Many theories have been suggested, but none fully explain its formation. Galaxies that collide usually end up with distorted shapes or merge into elliptical galaxies, but Hoag's Object remains in a perfect ring. This unique structure goes against what we usually expect from galaxies. Even more puzzling is that other similar galaxies, though rare, have different features like spiral arms or elliptical centers. But Hoag's Object is unique in its perfect ring shape and lack of these features. It's a cosmic oddity that keeps astronomers guessing, reminding us of how much we still need to learn about galaxies and the forces that shape them.